All right. To make this clippable, so video from Dr. Mike about online health scams, kind of a little bit going in the same vein as CoffeeZilla. They should get together sometime on this. CoffeeZilla and Dr. Mike look into this type of health scam type thing.
The other day, I had a patient who I was seeing for a low back issue, but after having an extensive conversation about the symptoms, I noticed the patient was more down than usual. And it turned out they fell victim to an online scam
Was
and
he
were involved in some really
Down
heavy
syndrome?
litigation to
Nice.
recover their identity
Sorry.
and the money stolen. This wasn't the first time I've heard this happen either.
Huh. I wonder how they get all the names for those. Who comes up? Well, probably the person who discovers them, I guess. But
It happens to people of all ages, especially as nowadays the schemes have gotten more and more elaborate. Obviously, the tech companies need to step up their game to dissuade and punish the scammers, but at the same time,
yeah,
I'm a preventive
get on the
focused
ball,
doctor,
CoffeeZilla.
so I realize it's also on me to alert you
You
to
ever watch? There's guys who they go around kind of yanking the chain of all the scammers. So those are pretty good. I'm thinking Kit Boga. That's the one I was thinking of. There's another guy with blue hair. I don't remember his name. But yeah, they'll go around kind of ticking off people and making their lives difficult in general. Which is yeah. The one person, if there's people worthy of doing it, it's the people who take advantage of like old people and people who don't know any better. Especially like in maybe in scenarios where they need health stuff like this. This is really despicable.
the most common scams out there. Think about it like I'm vaccinating you with information to
Danger! Danger! He's talking about vaccinate.
keep you from falling victim to these scams. Huge thanks to Bitdefender for sponsoring this video. AI deepfakes like this one are all over the
Okay,
internet.
that's what threw me. Because the first part, I'm pretty sure it's actually him. This part, I was thinking like he got some really bad Botox or something.
Right now. That's right. This isn't actually me. It's an AI generation of my body.
Oh, maybe I was. I don't know. For this
And
part, I would
voice.
have recognized his
Let's
AI.
say goodbye to him and hello to the real me. It's not hard to understand how dangerous this kind of technology
Wait, is this first part actually him?
is, especially when it's used to mimic a licensed physician. Now imagine getting a panic call from what looks like your kid saying that they're in trouble. That's how people are getting tricked. So if you feel pressure to act fast or send money without verifying
Sure that was a stock photo actress.
anything, that's a huge red flag. You've seen QR codes on menus, parking meters, or even on billboards on the street.
Don't trust him.
Scammers now post fake codes over that redirect you to malicious websites. Once you scan it, they can install malware or trick you into entering your bank or insurance login info. Just because it looks official doesn't mean it actually is. Always double check the source before scanning.
That's probably not a bad idea. Like it's online stuff, so you can like checking twice probably doesn't take too long, and it might save you some stuff. I tend to think caution is the best policy with regards to some of this stuff. Double check and then triple check.
If you need to, re-enter the website link manually. Children
Just in general, I generally just don't trust a lot of online communication. Unless like I don't know, it just feels like a lot of it has the potential to be very, very bad or catfishing of some sort. It's the wrong word. We're gonna say online scam. No, we'll go with catfishing.
being blackmailed online. This one is heartbreaking. We hosted the FBI on the Checka podcast where they warned about these huge blackmail scams where kids are tricked into sharing private photos or videos, then demanding money or more and more
That's even creepier. Like I'm assuming, I guess I don't know, kids is maybe a vague term here, but yeah, that's really morally dubious. Even more than the blackmailing, or it's just beyond the blackmailing. It's even yeah creepier. One thing I was actually going to say, you can actually maybe see this sometimes in um, it's kind of a red flag you might want to look for in news gathering as well. I think a lot of times people who are maybe doing fake news, you'll see like a close up of the scenario, right? But I think one of the things you want to look for in real news is actually like wide shots, multiple people in frame, identifiable locations, things that can be corroborated or need to be reconciled with other stuff. And that's the thing I think with fake news. Obviously, you don't want people to be able to say, "Oh, this was at this place in this location, and this is what happened there." You need it to be as nondescript as possible, and for people to just take it at face value. So, like, that's the one thing you might want to look for when you're trying to identify fake news is that type of close up, close in shot that doesn't show anyone else in frame. That's just one person who probably isn't known anywhere and can't be identified, or vague pictures of the ground or some again something that could have been taken anywhere but is said to have been taken here, right? Nothing identifiable, nothing reconcilable, nothing that could be corroborated with other stuff. It's red flags anyways. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Content. These scammers are truly scummy because at times they pretend to be another teen, gain trust, then flip it into extortion. Parents, please talk to your kids early. They need to know that this isn't their fault and they should tell you immediately.
And just also saying, there's worse things than maybe not giving your kid a phone until they're like kind of adult-ish anyways.
During health insurance open enrollment, when you sign up to get new health insurance, scammers flood inboxes and phones with fake offers. We can get you a cheaper plan. We can give you a gift card if you sign up now. We just need.
Nothing comes for free. That's a rule of life. It's one of those things like I don't know, it feels like they're offering you something that sounds too good to be true. Probably is.
Your social security number. They may sign you up for junk coverage, but many just full on steal your info. The FTC warns every year, only use healthcare.gov or your state.
Well, to be fair, I think originally I'd heard it from maybe David Mitchell first, one of his Mitchell's soapboxes. It's one of those things where, like, a lot of times, if the thing is free, um, I'm paraphrasing him, but I'd heard it from some other people too. But like, if the thing is free, then you're probably the, you're the stock and trade, right? You're the thing being sold. It's an unfortunate reality of online behavior.
Marketplace and never trust a cold call.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete.
Someone's impersonating you. Scammers will message or call saying your identity has been stolen, maybe even pretending to be the IRS, your bank, or your doctor's office. They'll claim they need to verify your account to stop the fraud.
Well, here's another thing you want to maybe check sometimes. It's a thing for like human behavior that if someone texts you or something, this isn't like perhaps revolutionary, but wait for them to text a second time. Because I think a lot of times, like if it's a robot, it'll literally just it sends out like probably a dozen of blank type of just one line text to people to get people to respond, but it might not be programmed for like a follow up response, like a stubborn type of belligerent type thing that a person who actually knows you or just a person in general would actually do. Right, so it's programmed for like the first like once like a one and done type of response, and then once it gives a response back, maybe it would be stimulated to do more, but it won't do more on its own, I think. So maybe an earmark of that sort of thing. I don't know. Earmark? I don't think that's the right word. Another red flag.
Ironically, that's the scam itself. Minnesota Vikings star Dallas Turner was actually the victim of this scam last year and lost $250,000. So if someone says your identity is compromised and pressures you to act quickly, hang up right away, call the official number on your card or statement. That's the right approach. Medical identity theft. So this is something new, but it happened to my dad's close friend recently where they got a.
It could be a thing where, like, generally speaking, if you're looking for stuff like this, make sure, like, don't call us, we'll call you type of thing. Like, just because they're offering it, don't. Yeah. I don't know if I would trust many offers from people in this regard.
Bill for several doctor's visits and physical therapy appointments that they never had.
There was a weird thing actually where one of my brothers was getting Wi-Fi, and they were acting like they were gonna close out their account and go to some other type of Wi-Fi provider. And all of a sudden, the people who are running the company start offering him like way lower plans, way better deals on everything. And it's like it feels like if you could offer that anyways, any sort of like person of integrity would offer that kind of default. But no, once you're leaving, well, we can offer you this, but like it's carrion behavior, carrion grow behavior, man, scavenger behavior, getting everything you can. Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe that's the soulless corporation for you.
Imagine opening a bill for tens of thousands of dollars for medical procedures that are legit, but ones that you never had. That's what medical identity theft is. Someone uses your insurance
That would
to
be a
get
bummer.
care or even file fake claims. It could mess up.
I'm hoping like you could pretty easily get that figured out, I guess. Well, I don't know easily, but like you could get that type of thing figured out because obviously the person who was at the hospital who received it, there would have been a lot of witnesses to that type of thing. So it's not just. It seems like there would tend to be a lot of witnesses to that sort of thing.
Your credit, your medical record, or even future access to your treatment. Always read your explanation of benefits. If you see care you didn't get, report it right away. For many victims, the worst part of all these scams isn't the lost money or headaches it can cause.
I would say that scams are 99% psychology and just 1% technology.
That's Bogdan from Bitdefender, who sponsored this video. They've been conducting pioneering research on these new AI scams and have helped protect people online for over 20 years.
Shame and guilt play a huge role into this type of cybercrime going unnoticed. Most of the time,
we're gonna skip to the end so we get the gist of it all, the end of the matter.
Oh. We all love to kick. We can't stop. It's that Absolure commercial.
Which of these scams have you or someone you know run into? Drop it on. Use strong passwords and two-factor authorization, especially for.
Yeah, I guess maybe I do somewhat strong passwords, but generally it's my name combined with some random number. Actually, no, I take that back. One of them is a random fact about me from my childhood, combined with a whole bunch of random. So that one's actually pretty strong, I think. It's not something most people would know, but like you could, in theory, like just pick some sort of something that's intuitive to you, but that would not be intuitive to anyone else. Something that means something to you, or maybe even your family, but not something that would mean anything to anyone who's like looking at you, or not something they could find readily as far as information.
Email, health portals, banking apps. Oh, and for your phone. 4, monitor your account.
Oh, we have to read this out. Pause before you click or send money. Verify directly. Probably a good idea. Yeah, and it's one of those things like if you're being called by one of your kids, you might want to just say, okay, no, stop. I'll call you back just to make sure I have the right number here. It feels like that rushing kind of strategy is maybe not. It's maybe again another red flag. Monitor your accounts. Oh goodness, that sounds hard.
Review bank statements, insurance explanation of benefits, and credit reports regularly, even if it is a pain. And 5, this is the most important, talk openly about this with your family.
Oh my goodness, no. All right, that's it. Yeah, go look this up if you want. Dr. Mike, online health scams targeting my patients.